Hello everyone, welcome to our new video in which we'll be discussing about the concept of object-oriented programming or OOPS. So we'll be discussing about this concept using the Java language, but as this is focused mainly on the concept side of things, so it doesn't matter if you're coming from any language background. So let's move ahead and understand what is object-oriented programming. So OOPS is not a programming language, it's a paradigm. Paradigm is basically a set of rules or principle that any language follows. Okay, so for example, if you're writing a simple method, so you follow some rules there that I have to write method in this syntax, I have to provide a return type. Today, I think almost every language is using the OOPS concept. Either it is Java, C hash, C++, JavaScript, Ruby, any other language. So let's understand why we use OOPS. So it has some advantages. That's why the industry or the languages are using it. The first concept is modularity. Modularity is when you organize your code into modules, or you can say into small classes where each class performing the separate operation, so that it can be easily built out separately and can be tested separately. So that's why modularity is important and OOPS follow that. And second thing is reusability. So you can reuse, when you use OOPS concept, you can reuse the existing code through the inheritance concept. So the next point is scalability. So when you use OOPS concept, it becomes very easy to scale your application to large level. And the last one is maintainability. Okay, so when you uh, write your code using the modularity concept, you are reusing the existing code. Okay, so it becomes very easy to maintain and debug and update your existing code. So these were the four main advantages of using OOPS. So let's talk about the core concepts of OOPS. Okay, so OOPS basically has four main pillars: encapsulation, inheritance, abstraction, and polymorphism. These are the very important concept of OOPS, because OOPS is working solely on these four pillars, and these concepts are asked in any interview question. If you are going for any tech interview for Java or for JavaScript, Ruby, any languages which follow OOPS concept, so you can encounter one of the question from these topics. So let's start with the first one, encapsulation. Encapsulation is binding your data and the method of class as a single unit. So as the name suggests, encapsulate. So basically it putting the data and the method inside a capsule form together and hiding it. You can say they are preventing it inside that capsule. So let's understand it with this example. I have this person class where I have one property name. So let's assume the name property is very crucial and I do not want any external world to modify it. So I've created it as private, and I've also created two public method for outer world that they can access. So if they want to get it, they can get it one through the getName method, and if they want to set, they can set it through the setName method. And in the setName method, I can add all those checks, all those permissions check that I want to implement, that either the person who is modifying this name has proper authorization or permission or not. So that's how I'm securing my crucial data. So that's what encapsulation talks about. Okay, so let's understand the next concept, that is inheritance. Inheritance is reusing the properties of parent class. Okay, so for example, my father has one property in the village and I've also bought one property in city. So I have that property in city, but the property in village is automatically inherited to me by my father. Okay, so that is how inheritance works. Let's see this example. The animal class is the parent class here, and the dog class is the child, and the dog is extending the animal class, which is parent. So the extend keywords plays a very important role in inheritance concept. When I extend the animal class, basically I'm extending all those properties, methods inside my class. So let's understand through the code. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Let me remove it from here for now. Okay. So I have this method eat in my parent, and I have this method bark in my child. Okay. If I want, I can call my child method. Let's create a dog class object. Dog is equals to new dog. Okay. So when I created a child class object dog, so from child class object I can call bark, right? Let's say run it as Java application. Okay, it's barking. Okay, so if I want to call this eat, which is inside my parent, I am not creating it inside my child class. You can see there is no method because I am not extending it. Let's extend the animal. Now if you'll see, the eat is automatically inherited to my child class. Now I can use it easily. And now if I run my code, it will also says eating. So that's very simple. So that is the inheritance concept. Let's move ahead to the other concept, abstraction. So abstraction is hiding the complex details from the end user. For example, your mobile phone. So when you are using your mobile phone, you are opening any app, you just click on that app icon and it opens up in front of you and it performs all those activities. You do not know what all code is written behind it to perform all these operations. So let's understand it through an example. Okay, so now if I want to hide the details, I do not want them to see my method, I do not want to expose my method. So how I will achieve the abstraction? So for that, what I will do, I will create an abstract class and I will create an abstract method inside it. I'm sure you must have heard about this abstract concept. You have already understanding of the abstract classes and abstract method. If not, let me know, I'll create a detailed videos on that as well. Okay, for now, let's assume you know about this, or let me tell you a brief about it. Okay, so the abstract classes are basically used to provide the partial implementation. Okay, so for example, for my case, I do not want to expose my code. I want to just expose a method name. Okay, so what I've done is I've just created an abstract method here, and now I will expose this method to the outer world. And now it's the child responsibility. The child means whosoever class will be implementing the actual logic of make sound. It's their responsibility to extend my class, and then they will be providing its actual implementation. Understood? So the outer world do not have access directly to this method which is inside my child, which has the implementation in it, but they are just accessing my abstract method. So that is the abstraction concept. So let's discuss the last point, polymorphism. So polymorphism is the very important concept of OOPS. It says same method but different behavior. And how it achieves that, let me show you. Okay, so polymorphism can be achieved via two ways. Okay, so first is method overloading and the second one is method overriding. So let's understand first method overloading. Okay, let me remove all this code from here. So in method overloading, what we do, we are creating method inside the same class with the different with the same name but the different arguments. Okay, so this is very important. If you are method overloading, so the name of the method should be same, it has to be inside the same class, and the argument should be different, then only you will achieve the method overloading. So in this case I have created two add methods which are basically doing the same thing. Okay, so they are performing the same thing, they are doing the addition, but how they are differ, they are different on the basis of their arguments passed. Okay, so now if I call, okay, let me create method overloading object. Okay, and if I do method overloading, okay, so and now I will call add, so you will see I have two methods here. So that is what method I will overloading, method with the same name but different arguments. And it is the responsibility of the Java to predict which method needs to run. So anyone can write like this 1 comma 1, okay, but I don't know which method will be run. So that is the responsibility of Java. It will automatically uh, detect that these are of int type, so it will call this method. And if I pass 1.2, 1.4, it will automatically call the double one. So let me show you. Let me pass 1 1 and let me run it. See, int 1, the int 1 is executed. Okay, if I pass the double value 1.4 or 1.2 something and then I run it, see, so how it's determining that which method needs to be run, it is done on the basis of these arguments. So argument must be different in method overloading. Okay, let's understand the second concept, that is method overriding. So what is method overriding? For method overriding, there should be parent-child relationship. Okay, you can achieve uh, this method overriding in only in the parent-child concept. Okay, the method overriding says, like if I have, so the method name is also same in the method overriding concept as well, but the parameters in this case needs to be same. For example, if I'll have the string s here, so if I want to override this method, I will have to create the same, I will have to create the method with the same name and the same argument, and we will use override annotation on the top of that. So that is defining that I am overriding my parent method. So my parent method says animal speak, but if I override it with the same name and the same argument, so it will print meow. Let me show you how. Let me create first parent class object animal new animal. Okay, if I call animal dot speak for now, okay, let me, basically the arguments I have just added to let you guys understand the other way of it, but let me remove it for now. Okay, so if I write animal dot speak, so what it will print, animal speak. It calls parents method. That is quite understandable. Okay, so now if I run it, yeah, so it prints animal speak, which is the parent method, which is straightforward. Okay, but if I create child class object, And now if I let me not override it for now, and let me also comment it for now. Okay, if I run it, it still says animal speak. Okay, because I'm calling it from the child class object, it says speak. It goes to the child class, it see there is no method here with the speak, then it moves to the parent class, because child class automatically inherits all the property of parent. So this speak is already automatically present to the child, and it will print animal speaks. Okay, now if I override it, it says meow. You see it? You can add override as well, which is a practice we follow to define or to make our code more readable, that we are overriding this method. This method is overridden. Okay, so it's automatically overriding this method. Now the speak is not printing this animal speaks, because this method is automatically inherited to me. If I call speak without overriding it, it will print animal speak, but I want to override my method. I do not want my I do not want my parent class implementation. Okay, in some cases it may happen that you have created a class way back. Okay, and now that functionality, the method is no longer supporting, or its older version, you want to create a newer version of it, so you override that method. Okay, so that is how the method overriding works. So that was the polymorphism concept. Okay, so let's understand oops in real life. So I have given you one example, a smartphone. So if you talk about encapsulation, okay, so you see internal circuit is hidden from you, because that is the crucial information. So that is why it is hidden from you with the covers and all. So that is encapsulation. Okay, and inheritances, smartphone inherits from phone. Like earlier we were using the phones that we can dial on those phones, and we can talk to our relatives and each other. But today the smartphones uh, basically take over the previous generation phones, and we are still able to perform the calling operation which we were able to perform in the previous phone as well. So that is the previous behavior that we are inheriting in us. So that is inheritance. And polymorphism is one name and many forms. Like you can unlock your phone using a touch, you can unlock your phone using a face. So that is polymorphism. And abstraction is only button icons shown to user. Okay, so you are visible with the so you have the button and icons available on your phones, but you do not know what code is written behind that uh, uh, to make it work. Okay, so that is abstraction, hiding the unnecessary detail. So we discuss about the what is oops, we discuss about the four pillars, we discuss it with the Java examples, and I have just told you about the real world analogy where you can see this. So that is all. I hope you understand the oops concept now, and thank you so much, and do subscribe the channel if you like the video. Let me know in comment section if you have any queries, and let me also know if you need video on any other topic. Thank you.